That was an excellent call, Mystic. We're running to the last 5 minutes, so I'm going to I will leave the chat room open, though. So the next call is an area code 909, and if I don't get to the other callers, I really do apologize, but we will have another show, so hopefully you can come in. So 909, welcome to the God Discussion Show.
Is this me?
That's you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hello. It's nice to talk to you guys. I actually think that maybe I'm something of an anomaly. I'm actually a lapsed atheist. I actually fell out of love with atheism in college at the point when most people embrace atheism. Mm-hmm. And the reason I suppose that I fell out of love with atheism is the fact that atheism doesn't solve the problems like I thought it would.
So what do you mean by that?
Well, I suppose in the sense that, when I was an atheist, I thought, well, of course I'm the most rational, I'm the most intelligent, everyone else is under this sort of false consciousness. Why? Which is, of course, what the theists think. And, actually with this whole Sherry Sherrod incident, where she talks about it's not about black and white, it's about sort of the haves and the have-not. I think that people who, or even sort of the recent Tea Party movement, mm-hmm. Where it's, during the 2000s, sort of, the Christian fundamentalists were the voting foot soldiers for the Bush administration. And now you really don't have that Christian resurgence, but what you do have is the same sort of fundamentalist mentality, where you have these Tea Party people who say, I have the truth, I have my fundamentalist document, the Constitution, everyone follow the line, and if you don't, you're not American enough. And I think that as atheists, or as people who sort of want the freedom to think, what we have to focus on more isn't sort of religion, but a sort of fundamentalist mindset. And I think that sort of, if you do that, if you can accept that there are sort of things that atheism can't answer, that, I don't know, it's more about freedom to think.
I think I know what you're saying. Who wants to respond? We're running down.
I would love to hear.
Who?
Everybody wants to respond.
Everybody wants to on the last few moments.
True. Okay.
We're pick someone randomly.
The other side 100.
Thinking Atheist, are you there?
Yeah, honestly, I think atheism never professed to have all the answers. In fact, the thing about people who don't believe in God is that they realize that science will admit proudly it doesn't have all the answers, and yet it is in search for facts and for truth. And, I don't think you can, I've seen a pattern when people debate on my channel. If you talk to them about how old the Earth is and radiometric dating, and they speak about the Creation Museum and the children running with dinosaurs in the garden, and you talk about Noah's Ark, and you say there's no proof of there's no evidence of a global flood, and they say, well, it wasn't a global flood. And then you talk about some other part of doctrine, and you confront them with facts, and they say, well, it's all just a metaphor. It was a different time. Incest is okay in the Old Testament. Their genes were purer. Slavery is okay because it was part of the culture. I mean, I think people can excuse their way out of not having to think, and that's the bottom line. I think when you say, I just want to take the facts and come to a decision about how to live, and if there was a God out there, and his divine plan is to be completely unprovable, completely invisible, why are we having this discussion? If he's omnipotent and can do anything, he could solve the mystery with a snap of a finger, he could pull the curtain of the sky back, and immediately no one of any faith, of any culture, of any creed would ever have to debate. It's over. And yet the omnipotent, omniscient God does nothing. We have no choice but to say, well, I'll look at the evidence and I'll draw my own conclusions.
That's fantastic. Well, the countdown is going. The music's about to start. You guys, fantastic show. I want to thank all of you for being here. It was really good. I think we should do this again. And I will leave the chat room open for a bit if people want to continue to interact. I'm going to run and get a beer, and I'll be there in the chat room. And thank you all very much. This was just fantastic. Wonderful people. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you.